I love t-shirt reconning, and I love Mario. Now, I actually played the most Mario when I was probably 10 or 12 on my older brother's Super Nintendo. So the most Mario game I've ever played through is actually Super Mario Bros. Loved the aesthetics. I think there was just something so friendly and cartoony about the aesthetics in Super Mario World. Even though I was 10 and I was so bad at it, I was like the worst at Mario in my household, possibly the planet. But I still kept playing it because I was such a big fan of the aesthetics. And so today we're gonna do a t-shirt recon in honor of the Mario mushroom. Here's what we need.
A fitted white t-shirt, 1 extra large red shirt, scrap black t-shirt fabric, fusible webbing, a measuring tape, a ballpoint pen or tailor's chalk, scissors, a sewing machine or a lot of patience, an ironing board or a folded over towel. Lastly, an iron. Starting with the white t-shirt, cut a line directly underneath the armpits all the way across through both layers. You should get a piece that looks like this, and then go ahead and repeat the process for the red t-shirt. Taking the top bit of the red, clip around the outside of the sleeve hems, being careful not to cut any of the stitches that are already there. These are nice finished pieces that work really, really well as straps. Cut both hems off and you should get 2 pieces that look like this. Going back to the large red tube of fabric, mark 14 inches up all the way around the body. Play connect the dots with your marks and then just go ahead and cut it all the way off. Taking your white fitted tube, measure 3 inches in on either side of both side seams, marking each place with a tiny dash mark. Between these marks are going to be our sleeves. Measure between the 2 sleeve marks the long way and write that number down for later. Measure the top of the red tube and then mark the midpoint with a pen on both sides. Then take the length of the white between the sleeve marks, divide it in half, and measure out that from the midpoint on each side, being sure to once again mark it on both sides of the tube. Take the wrong side out red tube and then carefully pull the wrong side out white tube inside of it. Don't be surprised if you have to pick it up and give it a few shakes to get everything to lie down flat, and then carefully remove your hands. Look for your first mark inside the red tube and then match it up to your first mark on the white tube. Pin there. Continue pinning all around the front of the shirt and the back of the shirt, making sure to keep all of your marks matched up and making sure to leave the sleeve holes, holes. Hop over to your sewing machine or a needle and thread and an infinite source of patience and sew all the way down between the marks using a zigzag stitch. Now try it on to make sure you like the fit and the way it's going. Now we're moving on to the appliques. Patterns for everything I did, the spots, the eyes, the big spots, will all be available over on the blog. For the spots, you pretty much want to cut up all of your white scraps and put the pattern on wherever it's going to fit and then cut as many out as you possibly can. I got 4 little spots and 1 big spot. Once everything's cut out, you want to give everything a nice, good ironing. Don't forget to iron the shirt as well. Now take your fusible webbing and peel off the side that's easy to peel. Then carefully lay your spots on it, making sure to smooth out all the wrinkles. Once all your appliques have been fused to the fusible webbing, cut them out and then start laying them around. Once you like the orientation, peel them off and press on firm. The eyes you're going to have to be a little bit more particular about just because they have a very exact look. So for me, I discovered about 2 inches below my underbust and then 1 inch outside to side from the midline was where I wanted my eyes to go. Make sure you use your measuring tape here and they're sitting nice and parallel on your body. Once your appliques are where you want them, throw a towel on over them and iron them down. If you want your appliques to stay on, you're going to have to sew them down with either a zigzag stitch or a satin stitch by setting your zigzag length to 0 or as low as it'll go. Go around the outside of every applique. As a warning, doing a satin stitch can be a little time consuming and tricky. Now, try it on again. I like straps, so I bothered to make sure my straps were going to cover up my bra straps by pinning them in the front and then getting a friend of mine to help me pin them in the back. Sew those straps down, but be careful not to sew anything else shut or onto anything else. Clip off all your threads, and then you're all done and you have an adorable mushroom t-shirt. Although now that I come to think of it, I could probably use an extra life.